So now that you know what an MCC account, a My Client Center account is, we're going to take a look at each of the individual benefits of running an MCC. Now, the first benefit is a big one. This is the fact that you only have to have a single login to access all of your accounts. And that's big, right? Because now I don't have to share my passwords with other people to give them access to my AdWords accounts. So here's an example. In my own agency, I have a My Client Center account. I'm the only one who has the password and the login for that account. But I also have a few people working for me. For example, there's Michael, my project manager, there's Helen, my senior consultant, and there's Susan, who's new to the company, and she's a junior consultant. Now, rather than me having to understand each of their passwords, I can just link my account to their accounts. And so what that means is that me, Fred, I can access all of my employees' accounts because they are linked together through a My Client Center. And the additional benefit is that all of my employees, Michael, Helen, and Susan, they can just look at the accounts that they manage, but they can't look at each other's accounts, right? So Michael can see his accounts, but he cannot see what Helen is working on. That privilege is reserved to me, who has the account that sits above it. So there's a clear benefit there, right? I can see all of the accounts that people manage, and there's a very clear structure of who can access what. Now, speaking of access levels, it goes one step further than that. Each of the employees in the company can have a different level of access. So for myself, as the owner of the agency, I would have administrative access. And administrative access, which is the same that Michael has, means you can really do anything in those accounts. So I can share MCC access to new employees, to other employees in the company. If somebody leaves my company, I can revoke access to their MCC. I can grant access to new employees, and I can also control access levels of employees. So if an employee like Susan goes from being a junior consultant to a senior consultant, and all of a sudden she needs more permissions in the accounts that she manages, Michael or myself, who have administrative access, can easily go and switch that. Now, the second level of access you can have is standard access. This is, for example, what Helen has. In standard access, you can go into any AdWords account, you can view it, you can do reporting on it, but you can also go and make changes. So this is probably the most typical level of access that you would have for someone who's managing accounts on your behalf. Standard access. Now, in standard access, one of the things that Helen can do is she can grant read-only access. So email-only access to new employees. So for example, Susan, who's in the read-only bucket, she can just look at the campaign reporting, or she can run reports, but she can't make any changes, right? And this is really beneficial because if Susan is a newer employee, maybe she doesn't quite know AdWords that well yet. So at this point, she's learning, she's looking at reports, but we don't yet allow her to make changes. That way she cannot mess up the accounts. And so as you can see, because there's different levels of access, it's really beneficial because you can control who can do what in the accounts that are being managed by your agency. So that's what we have in terms of accessing accounts. In the next video, we're going to take a look at the dashboard and the benefits of that.